digital transformation. We are an independent, vendor-neutral ISO IEC 1024 accredited certification body committed to helping individuals and organizations. GSDC is accredited by the Accreditation Board for International Certification Bodies, ABICB. For 10 years, we've certified more than 100,000 professionals across Europe, North America, Asia, and Africa, with our offices in Switzerland, the United States, and Singapore. Our programs are recognized by leading publications and podcasts, including Forbes, Tech Target, People Managing People. We offer 100-plus globally accredited certifications across emerging and in-demand domains like generative AI and emerging technologies, HR and learning and development, project management and agile Scrum, ISO and quality management, information security. Each GSDC certification is designed to empower professionals with confidence and help organizations stay competitive in a fast-changing landscape. Every certification is crafted with insights from 100-plus global advisory board members representing top universities and leading industry experts. Our certified professionals are trusted by 500-plus multinational companies, which help unlock better roles, faster promotions, and delivering cutting-edge expertise. We partner with 100-plus authorized training partners and 50-plus universities, supporting talent across all career levels, from entry-level to executive leadership. As a GSDC member, you gain lifelong access to interactive webinars, hands-on workshops, SME panels, and global summits. Join a vibrant community of 25,000-plus members and be part of our global events. Check our reviews on Trustpilot. We're trusted worldwide for quality, support, and impact. Whether you're aiming higher or building tomorrow's talent, GSDC is your partner in purposeful growth and impactful leadership. Visit our website to explore our offerings. GSDC, share the best practices and learn from the best practices. Welcome to the Global Skill Development Council, your gateway to digital transformation. We are an independent, vendor-neutral ISO IEC 1024 accredited certification body committed to helping individuals and organizations stay future-ready in a rapidly evolving world. GSDC is accredited by the Accreditation Board for International Certification Bodies, ABICB. For 10 years, we've certified more than 100,000 professionals across Europe, North America, Asia, and Africa, with our offices in Switzerland, the United States, and Singapore. Our programs are recognized by leading publications and podcasts, including Forbes, Tech Target, People Managing People. We offer 100-plus globally accredited certifications across emerging and in-demand domains like generative AI and emerging technologies, HR and learning and development, project management and agile Scrum, ISO and quality management, information security. Each GSDC certification is designed to empower professionals with confidence and help organizations stay competitive in a fast-changing landscape. Every certification is crafted with insights from 100-plus global advisory board members representing top universities and leading industry experts. Our certified professionals are trusted by 500-plus multinational companies, which help unlock better roles, faster promotions, and delivering cutting-edge expertise. We partner with 100-plus authorized training partners and 50-plus universities, supporting talent across all career levels, from entry-level to executive leadership. As a GSDC member, you gain lifelong access to interactive webinars, hands-on workshops, SME panels, and global summits. Join a vibrant community of 25,000-plus members and be part of our global events. Check our reviews on Trustpilot. We're trusted worldwide for quality, support, and impact. Whether you're aiming higher or building tomorrow's talent, GSDC is your partner in purposeful growth and impactful leadership. Visit our website to explore our offerings. GSDC, share the best practices and learn from the best practices.
Hello everyone, welcome back to all of you. I hope everyone is doing well and keeping energized. My name is Pratibha and I'll be your moderator. So if at any point you have any questions, want to know about the GSDC or want to ask any questions from the speaker, please feel free to drop them in the chat box. And let's make this interactive. So if you're enjoying this session, if something clicks with you or you want to know more about the topic or if you have any technical question or you want to know anything from the speaker or from the GSDC, drop your reactions and emojis in the chat, drop your questions in the chat. That way we know you are with us and you're engaging with this session dynamically. Let me share my screen quickly. Just allow me a minute. Meanwhile, please let us know from where you guys are watching and what do you think about the sessions we are lining up for you. So, on behalf of the Global Skill Development Council, I'm very delighted to welcome you all into the GSDC Studio Learning in Practice Real World L&D Case Studies Across Industries webinar. In this webinar, you will be unlocking the secrets behind industry learning L&D transformation by showcasing the real world case studies which you can apply on daily life in your professional life. So these are the webinars we have scheduled for you for this week into the LND webinar from 3rd November to 21st November, 9:30 a.m. CST, 10:30 p.m. SGT, and 8 p.m. IST. Don't forget to grab your spot. You can grab the spot via registration link from the GSDC website. I'll be sharing the link of GSDC website in the chat for your convenience. For those who are joining with us for the very first time, let me give you a quick introduction who we are. So we are a globally recognized certification body committed to bridging the gap between skills, innovation, and industry. We are accredited by ANSI and ABICP. Till year 250,000 professionals have been certified with us. 500 plus subject matter expert we have who contribute to our program. We are associated with 1,000 plus multinational companies and 50 plus university worldwide. We are also having the 100 plus certification in our portfolio. We are also associated with 100 plus training providers, which are these authorized training partners we have. These are from the Asia, Canada, Africa, any other countries as well. We are very honored and we are very welcome to have the collaboration with this training provider. We are also very thankful to our media partner WordPress Hub. Thank you, WordPress Hub, to amplify our initiative and reach it to the wider global audience. Now, I'm very excited to tell you all that we have launched a very unique platform, GSDC Studio Lifelong Learning Initiative. In this GSDC Studio, you will get 4 daily session, 45 minutes live expert lead session for hands-on learning, session from global expert learning directly from our AI leaders around the world, real-time practice, apply concept immediately, and get your question answered. And apart from that, you will get the certification ready, training aligned with industry standard for job ready skills. Now, how you can get the benefit of GSTC AI Studio? Well, let me tell you. There are 3 ways for this. First, you can get a free 30-day access. In that, you will getting the 80 plus live session per month, access to full GSTC Studio. Second, you can get the GSTC lifelong membership, which is for $109. In this, you will get the 80 plus live session, access to full GSTC Studio, free GSTC membership, access to physical events, LinkedIn profile improver. And third, you can get the GSDC certification lifelong membership. So this is a very limited offer and it is starting from $100. So in this, you will get full access of GSDC lifelong membership. Along with that, you will get the GSDC certification, personalized coaching, capstone project plus AI tool, GSDC Copilot, and competency assessment tool. For getting know more about the GSTC AI Studio, I'll be sharing the contact person detail in the chat box. Feel free to reach out to them. As I told you that we have 100 plus certification in our portfolio, which include the L&D and HR, Gen AI, Agentic AI, Emerging Technologies, ISO Lead Auditor, Implementer, Project Management and PMO, Agile DevOps and SRE, Cybersecurity, Digital Transformation, and many more. With that, it's time to welcome our today's speaker, which is Elon Richmond. Elon is Director of Partnership and Business Development at Moonshot Marketing Limited. He is going to lead the session today on turning frontline turnover into growth through learning into retail. Elon has 15 years of experience in the high-tech industry in business development, partnership, sales, and marketing roles from dynamic early-stage startup to leading global corporation. He has managed large-scale operations, with global clients across product and technology companies and lead initiative that delivers measurable business impact. He brings a unique combination of strategic thinking, practical execution, and a good sense of humor. He's passionate about helping individuals and organizations grow by translating complex challenges into clear, actionable strategies. Throughout his career, he has built and led teams, developed new markets, and fostered partnerships that drove business growth. His approaches combine data-driven decision-making with creativity and authenticity, ensuring that every interaction delivers both value and inspiration. Before handing over the virtual mic to our speaker, I just wanted to tell you that drop your reactions emoji in the chat. And if you have any questions regarding this session or anything, please drop them into the chat box and we'll be keeping an eye on it. With that, it's time to hand over the mic to Alon. Alon, the stage is yours.
All right, let me just open my camera. Thank you, Pratibha, for this wonderful welcome. I learned some stuff about myself once you presented me, so thank you very much. That was great. And hello, everyone. Glad to be here. I know we have audiences from different geos, countries, time zones, places. Love the claps. Keep them on going. Yeah, that's great. And yeah, today we have an amazing topic. Lots of insights and crucial, interesting pointers I think you can take with you after this presentation. It's going to be short, simple, insightful, and all the important stuff squeezed in one lecture. Hoping to make it filled with kind of just major insights you can take with you. So glad to be here. Welcome aboard. Anyone joining is welcome to join. And as Pratibha mentioned, we have the chat open, so just feel free to, ask any questions, leave your comments there. We'll check them out. We'll leave hopefully 10 to 15 minutes after the presentation for Q&A, for questions. So either you can write them down in the chat or just keep them to yourself and ask them later on. But it's going to be about 45 minutes of a presentation, then 10 to 15 minutes of the Q&A part. So without further ado, let's get started. I hope everyone can see me and hear me okay, right? Just come and send a thumbs up if it's all okay. Yeah, I'm seeing the thumbs up. Oh, lots of thumbs up. Awesome. So if you have any issues hearing me, just write that on the chat. Okay, let me just share my screen real quick. Okay, and here's the presentation. Awesome. So today we'll talk about a topic that's very urgent for many people in retail, but not just in retail, in LLD and training in general. And the topic is learning that delivers, solving industry training challenges that matter. And in the retail focus, turning frontline turnover into growth through learning in retail. And I'll elaborate exactly what I mean with this bombastic headline. So in general, one of the main challenges or the crisis, if you want to call it, is that every year retail businesses lose between 60 to 75% of their frontline workforce. So for example, if you're, a retail store offline or online, you have 100 employees today. In average, only 25 to 40 will still be with you next year. But what if I told you that learning isn't just about training these employees, it's your most powerful retention and growth tool as well. Keeping your employees with you for a longer period of time. Just for the raise of hands, you can send over a thumbs up or kind of whatever symbol you want. Who here is in retail today? Just kind of send over a thumbs up. Let's see them come in. Okay. And who is employing employees today or managing employees as a manager or kind of business owner? Send a thumbs up. Awesome. I can see a few here. Great. So let's talk about the financial impact of this. Today, the recruitment cost, recruiting a new employee, is about 1.5 to $3,000 per employee placement. Okay. And then the onboarding cost, training new hires, all the training sessions and the onboarding part is between $2,000 to $4,000 per employee. So the month lost in the productivity impact for each employee that leaves you is about 3 to 6 months in average. So every employee you onboard costs money, and every employee that, eventually leaves your business after X amount of months also costs you money that you lose from, losing that experienced employee and then needing to recruit and onboard new ones. So that kind of ongoing change costs business a lot of money. And obviously, if you can work on the retention side of things and keep your employees with you for a longer period of time, that could save every business a lot of money. Talking about, tens of percentage of your ARR monthly or yearly, depending how you want to count it. So the paradigm or the paradigm shift here is seeing traditional training as a cost center, right? Like it costs me money to train new employees. But the modern view recognizes it as a growth engine because once you train an employee and make him valuable and being able to keep them with you and keep them knowledgeable and professional and trained, they will stay with you for a longer period of time. So the objectives for this conversation right now, for this lecture, would be that by the end of it, you will understand how to transform training from compliance, just kind of checking the compliance checkbox, to a competitive advantage. Bring that to your way, helping your business save money and increase the retention percentage of your employees by the training sessions, doing it differently than the traditional training you have been known for so far. So let's talk about it for a second. What are the challenges we're facing today in the retail training front? And just not just in retail, but other fronts as well. Could be high tech, could be low tech, could be other businesses. But let's talk about retail for this example. So one is the scheduling paradox. Because if you have let's say a big online store, okay? So the peak hours are when the employees are needed on the floor. That conflicts with training. So when should I train them? If on the most important hours they're in the workforce or they're in work, they actually need to be on the floor serving customers. And we also have logistical hurdles, split shifts, different employees come in different hours. Some are in the morning shift, some in the evening shift. In some cases, if it's a 24/7 business, some are the night shift. So they're not always being or available for training at the same time. So we need to split the training sessions to different time slots, different time zones. So that's another challenge. Another one is no downtime. In some cases, every, customer facing store or business knows that. In many cases, it's kind of rush hour all day long. So it's not like we say, listen, from this hour to this hour, it's the most busy time on our store. And from this hour and this hour, we have like a more downtime, more kind of relaxed activity. We can take some of the employees for training. That's in some cases. But in many stores, it's 24/7 or all day long. If it's a supermarket or an Apple store or, a fashion store, whatever it is, uh, many times the employees are needed on the floor through all the shift hours, no downtime to take them to kind of teach them new stuff or kind of for 4 or 5 hours of training. And also an unsuitable format. I mean, the traditional training formats are, let's say, an 8-hour training day or a 5-hour training day, taking all the managers or all the employees, for the sake of the example, for like a training session, in a classroom or, online or offline, for a whole training day, taking them off from work, which is always a bit of a challenge in this case. So that's one type of challenge. And one of the, I'm gonna just giving you a spoiler of what could be a solution here, is kind of micro learning in 5 to 10 minutes chunks during, natural workflow breaks. How do we do that? Hold your thought. We'll talk about that in a second. Let's see another challenge, the engagement crisis. So, why traditional training fails in retail? One, you have generic content. Sometimes the content you have is kind of for the whole network or the whole retail network, and it's kind of disconnected from the daily retail realities and specific challenges for that specific store or that specific business. So in some cases, you need to fit the training material to your specific store, operation, activity, business, location, whatever it is. Not always, it's not just one size fits all in the training material. And also, when you talk about one size fits all, in some cases, you have veteran employees that are 10 or 15 or 20 or 25 years in the business, and you have junior employees who just joined 2 months ago. Do they require the same training? So you need to fit the training to your specific employees. Also, the lecture format. In most cases, it's kind of a passive learning format. You have the lecturer speaking or presenting, like I'm doing right now with you guys, and you have the team or the employees listening, whether it's online or offline in a classroom or some kind of office. And in some cases, passive learning doesn't stick in fast-paced retail environment as opposed to a workshop model or a kind of interactive lesson where they kind of participate and take part or maybe take some quizzes or some kind of any type of activity that kind of tests their knowledge as you go. So the lecture format is also questionable and something we have to look at and see if it's the right fit or not. And also irrelevant content. In some cases, it lacks immediate connection to an employee's current shift need. Each employee has its own struggles, its own challenges, its own situation. And in many cases, the general content is not always relevant to each and every individual in your team. So that's another obstacle we want to try and overcome. What else? Let's see what else we are facing. So more training challenges, the technology gap. Talking about technology, right? Online training, applications, video conversations, recorded webinars, seminars, lessons, and so on and so on. It's not just a traditional teacher and students in a classroom, right? So many frontline workers don't have company email or desk access. Think about an online, toy store or furniture store. You have the large space of the store. You have employees on the cashier or assisting the customers on the store. How can they exactly, learn? They don't have a laptop with them. They're not necessarily sitting in an office with access to email and to, any desktop notifications or video lessons or any other type of lesson. So how do you do that? In some cases, the training platforms are designed for office workers, not mobile first retail reality. And also we have digital literacy that varies, widely across age ranges and backgrounds. If someone is like a 65-year-old employee, which could be a great employee, a great manager, but he's not exactly used to working with emails and different online platforms and tools. So it might be a bit difficult for him to establish or kind of get acquainted with new technology at once. Or in some cases, the store doesn't even have a great solid Wi-Fi access. So if you want to teach them online, it's not always available. Some stores kind of the Wi-Fi is not that strong, or you have to connect to kind of a general Wi-Fi. So you have a technology gap. And another issue is the measurement problem. I mean, traditional metrics don't capture true impact. Um, in some cases, the completion rate of the course or the training doesn't equal to comprehension and understanding. The fact that someone completed your training doesn't necessarily mean he understood everything and he's ready to implement that on his workday. So how do you test and measure that? In some cases, you can test them, but the test scores don't predict the on-floor performance. So it's not always equal. Someone can do great on a very kind of um, uh, theoretical test, but when you try and implement it to a physical on-floor duty or activity, it's not always, you know, aligned. So how do you focus or kind of tackle that obstacle? And also, you can't easily connect training to business outcomes, whether it's sales, retention, customer satisfaction, just by, providing the training and then watching your employees operate during their shift and trying to figure out if the training was effective or successful or not. So many challenges, many obstacles, um, many issues. And here I want to kind of pause for a second and ask you guys, you can just write it in the chat, what challenges or which challenges for the ones I just mentioned resonate most with your organization, whether whatever you're working at or whether you're at, which of these challenges, whether it's the technology gap, the measurement problem, um, the engagement issue, or the scheduling paradox, which ones are more kind of finding you guys in your uh, activity or business, whatever it is. Let's check the chat for a second. What you guys are writing. Um, okay. Yeah, I'm going to share the notes eventually. This meeting is recorded, so you're going to get the recording anyway, and you're going to see everything. Okay, so Aminat wrote time. Panithia, measurement. Janice said all of the above. Parker Nielsen, measurement for sure. Um, J. Jandran, connecting learning outcomes to business results. That, yeah, makes sense. Um, Iris, technology gaps. Shanath, all the above. Syra, culturally in India, retail training, the trainees aren't inclined towards learning. That's also an issue. Obviously, that's a challenge. Uma says measurement and technology. Yeah, these are very common challenges. Always. Any more? Anything else? Okay, so you pretty much covered most of the topics we just mentioned. And yeah, they're all kind of usually relevant for most people. So indeed, that makes sense. Um, so yeah, let's move on and see what we can do to solve this. Um, yeah, not this one. Okay. So let's talk about the technology gap. What? Yeah, sorry. So, wait, sorry, I just wanted to, yeah, this one. Let's talk about the strategic solutions framework. So, one option you can try and adapt to is micro learning revolution. We just talked about, training sessions that could be 5 hour long, 10 hour long, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. And in many cases, it's not something you can operate with a big team. So how do you do that with, different teams, uh, different locations, different time zones, different technology challenges? Um, what do you do? So what type of solution you try to kind of find an answer to is breaking the training into bite-sized or focused models of 3 to 7 minutes each. It sounds kind of crazy, right? 7 minutes training, yeah, indeed. It fits between customers during, kind of restocking, after shift, before shift, between shifts. Aligned with attention spans and workflow, reality. You just mentioned someone said in India they have, a difficulty of learning or attention or kind of providing that focus for learning. So maybe if you kind of give them short 5 to 10 minute bite-sized training sessions, that could be easier. It can also be delivered by smartphone. It doesn't have to be, face to face. It could be online or on a mobile device. And it's also easier to update than, the kind of monolithic courses that are kind of 5 hours long. And if you need to update the course because the activity or the business has changed, you have to update everything. In this case, you can have these small bite-sized sessions and you can update anyone specifically as needed. Um, Another issue is the implementation approach. You have to map critical knowledge to micro models, like handling price disputes, like that's one topic, or customer retention issues, um, or any other issue that your specific business is facing. You can find a specific model for that specific issue and a training solution kind of customized for that or for your specific business. So you can map critical knowledge to micro models. You can use video or any interactive scenarios or quick knowledge checks. I mean, it doesn't have to be a presentation or a workbook or a textbook or a book in general. In many cases, you go to a new business and they hand you this big book, their guide, right, with all the information in it. But what about video sessions, interactive sessions, any type of different media that's more kind of interactive and kind of more engaging? So that's a great um, option as well. You can also use space repetition for retention, like the same concept, but different scenarios over time. So you can try and fit that training model to your specific business, whether it's in one vertical or another vertical. And in terms of time, so for example, instead of a 4 hour POS training, POS is point of sale training, like on the um, store, you can create 20 focus models, like processing returns or applying discounts or handling split payments and so on and so on. So you can fit your specific topic to each one, relevant to your need. Any questions on that front? Let's check the chat real quick. Okay. Let's see. Oh, sorry, I asked gamification in training. Yeah, I'm going to talk about it in a second. Great question. I mean, gamification is a very large word, right? But it's exactly a very unique topic we'll talk about in a second. Okay, so let's talk about how we apply gamification in this traditional training. Personalized learning paths. The problem with one size fits all is that in some cases a new hire needs the fundamental basics, whether a 5-year veteran needs advanced techniques and leadership development. So it's not one size fits all, right? Each different employee needs a different type of training. So we can divide it to kind of smart, personalized training, kind of divisions. One is the role-based paths, different tracks for cashiers or sales floor or visual merchandising or supervisors. Each need a different training because supervisor managing 20 employees in the store needs a different training than a junior salesperson or the person on the cashier. Another division is the skill-based progression. You can have pre-assessment place learners at the right level. So you have like different types of training materials for different skills or different levels of skills. So if someone is in a beginner skill or level and someone is in an advanced level, you can provide them different training materials customized to their needs. Another point is performance triggered learning. And this is also kind of reaching to the gamification we talked about. We'll talk about it in a few minutes, but it's kind of getting there. Kind of the system recommends models based on observed gaps. So it's kind of a smart system. Today we have AI tools, and you have smart tools, kind of finding relevant gaps in your activities solutions that can be fitting to your activity. So if in your store, you can see, for example, high return rates or customer satisfaction rates are very low in the last poll you did with the customers. Or you need some customer service refresher because some of your employees are not that sharp with, the handling customer objections or kind of handling customer needs in terms of returns or retention. So you can kind of focus on basic, specific issues your business is facing and customize these training sessions to these issues. And another point is career pathing, a clear connection between learning and advancement, meaning you can kind of reward your employees by, promoting relevant employees based on how well they have learned, trained, and consumed the knowledge and the information. So you can also try and connect the learning to the kind of advanced stages of your employee on the skill and learning side. So it's also something you can fit to each employee. And let's talk about, see kind of mobile first design. We talked about people working with different shifts, different locations, different time zones, different devices, not always with an office um, computer access, but everyone has a mobile phone, right? So think about being able to deliver all or most of your training materials to that device, getting to each and every employee directly through their mobile phone. It could be a thumb-friendly navigation option. They can do it one-handed, during holding a coffee on their break or, on the way to the office or to the store. It has offline capabilities. You have downloaded models that you can access in off hours or not specifically, have to be live. Short load times. You don't need kind of large models that you have to load in the computer, like 45 megabytes or 100 megabytes. Could be very short on the mobile. Visual first content could be less reading, more showing, more video, more visual content, and also push notifications like with new content, reminders, recognition for whoever is, doing great on on their training, and so on and so on. So lots of options on the mobile device they don't necessarily have on the offline face-to-face training or the web devices as well. Now we talk about gamification. So let's add the gamification layer on that and social learning in general. So imagine that you have the training models cut to smaller bites, could be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, fitted to specific topics, each model for a different topic. So it's easier to update and easier to follow up and easier to estimate. And also kind of related to each business's specific issues, challenges, and so on and so on. And all that, you can also add a gamification layer. And why is that important? For example, you can add beyond points and badges like the leaderboards. Teams compete on completion of an assignment or quiz scores. You can kind of, after each model of learning, kind of run a 5 kind of question quiz, and the employees answer these quizzes, get a score, and they can compare scores and see kind of who is leading on the leaderboard. Or just applied behaviors, how the kind of finish their assignments, who does it, uh, faster, and so on and so on. You can also add challenges like store versus store. If you have a chain of stores, like region versus region competition, kind of add some spice to it. Like which region or which store is giving or kind of getting the higher score in their training so far for this month. Peer learning. Top performers create quick tip videos. So, for example, if you have a very successful or excellent employee, they can also upload a video of how their kind of their tips and tricks of how they're doing things from their angle and kind of provide some more knowledge to their peers and colleagues as they go. And peer-to-peer learning is very effective in these cases. Another point is recognition. Providing public acknowledgement of learning milestones for specific employees, like getting a golden star for completing, an amount of sessions on the training model, or getting a very nice, acknowledgement or even prize for getting a high score on their learning model. So each type of recognition boosts engagement, boosts motivation, boosts competition between the employees, and just, you know, kind of integration and interaction with your material while giving them some kind of feedback on real time. And of course, immediate rewards can be connecting, learning completion to tangible benefits like shift preferences, bonuses, gift cards, money rewards, vacation days, time off, better shifts, whatever it is, right? You can figure out the bonuses, but rewarding your employees for doing well on their training is another boost of, energy and motivation to these employees. So all these parameters, leaderboards, challenges, peer learning, recognition, immediate rewards are all under the gamification, so to call, umbrella of kind of acting as you go on a mobile game, you get prizes and rewards and kind of bonuses. Same thing here. Make your employees feel valuable, feel like they're seen, like they're heard, and like people are kind of monitoring what they're doing and how they're doing. Not just completing an online training and checking that box and say, hey, I'm completed, I'm done. Let's move on. But showing them you're monitoring their training, you know how they're doing, and acknowledge when they do good and when they excel and succeed. So this gamification layer is super, super important for taking it to the next level. Okay? And by the way, gamification without a meaning just becomes noise. You have to connect it to the mechanics of the real outcomes you want to achieve, whether it's completing the training courses or getting high results or getting high scores in the quizzes following the material they're learning. But whatever it is, it has to connect to the KPIs and goals and results you want to achieve. Once it's connected and makes sense, then you're golden. Then you hit the jackpot. Your employees will feel rewarded and and monitored and appreciated, and it just takes things to the next level. Okay, and let's talk about just-in-time learning. I mean, the concept is learning the moment of need, at the moment of need, not just months before. In some cases, you kind of apply and you start a new job as an employee, and they give you this kind of guidebook of all the info you need to know about the job, the role, the company, the legacy of the company, and moving forward. But in many cases, like 80% of that is not relevant to you right now. Maybe in a year or so, but not right now. So in retail applications, you should try and make the training fitting to that specific moment. And by dividing it to smaller pieces, you can make each piece fit that specific moment. So for the recruiting stage, for the onboarding stage, for the junior employees, for the senior employees, for the managers, senior managers, specific obstacles, retention, client obligation, sorry, rejections, and so on and so on. So you can have specific pointers or places for real-time or on-time training. For example, QR codes at cash registers, linking to a quick refresher video. So let's say your employee is now on the shift in the store at the cashier, and they have this code they can kind of scan and just kind of get a 5 minute refresher of, what to do and not do while being at the cashier. How cool is that? Kind of a refresher. Or an AI chatbot answering, policy questions in real time. So you're an employee, you're not sure about a specific policy of the store, how you should react or behave. You just kind of type the question in the chatbot and you get an immediate answer in real time. Great idea. Visual guides for complex procedures like gift card activation. So I have a client wanting to activate a gift card he received from his, work, and he wants to kind of implement that in the store. I'm not quite sure exactly what's the process of kind of doing that. So I have like a visual guide on my mobile device, like a 2 minute guide of how to implement that. Pretty cool, right? Or different solutions for different case studies. Or like a help me now button in training app for immediate supervisor notification. Let's say I have the training app on my mobile device and I have like this support help me now button. I need to have an immediate urgent question for my supervisor. Boom. Whoever is right now, online or available can jump on and give me assistance or provide me assistance or guidance. So any type of real-time, just-in-time learning, all these different kind of features could be very helpful in real time. And, reduce the fear of asking questions, and it speeds problem resolution and builds confidence eventually because the employees know they have, support and information, in the tip of their fingertips. Just kind of click on the button, scan the QR code, or anything of that term. Any questions so far? Just write them down in the chat. And Pratibha, if you want to kind of gather the questions, we can also answer them in the Q&A soon. That could be great. Let's see the chat. AI role play for difficult or challenging customer interactions may be tried. Okay, great. Okay. Madhav says, but those who didn't get the reward get demotivated. Well, not necessarily. I mean, it's a competitive landscape, right? We're all working in a business world, a competitive world. The peer-to-peer learning is great, but everyone wants to excel and be, the best version of themselves. So yeah, employees should know that not every action they do gets rewarded. But on the other hand, when they do excel or do, you know, advance in their learning or their results, they can get rewarded. And another employee who sees his peer getting any reward doesn't necessarily be demotivated, but actually be motivated of saying, hey, you know what? I want to get that reward as well. And I want to be where he is as well. So I just saw my colleague getting, a reward for being successful in their quiz, answering questions about the material they learned, or for being advanced in the learning stages. I want to do that as well. I want to be there as well. I think it's much more motivating seeing other ones get, promoted or get rewarded than demotivating. Anyone know what? If you're demotivated by your colleagues succeeding, maybe the problem is a different problem. So I think in most cases it's more kind of motivating and kind of giving the other ones some more boost to succeed than demotivating. But great question. Okay, let's move on. So another, very kind of important feature is the continuous feedback loop. I mean, in the traditional learning model, you have the training, you learn, you remember some of it, you forget some of it, and maybe evaluate after 6 months when you have the one-on-one conversation with your boss. But in the continuous model, It's an ongoing assessment and improvement. Okay, you can have daily micro assessments. Like one question per day keeps the knowledge fresh, right? Like specific micro bits of knowledge, like per day or per week or per month or even per hour for specific topics, keeps you fresh, keeps it dynamic, keeps it like real time. Observation and coaching, training your managers to observe and give immediate feedback to their employees, as opposed to like once in, a quarter or once in half a year with the one-on-one conversation. So like real-time feedback, makes a difference. Performance data integration, have a POS system that shows who needs a refresher on certain transactions. Keep it fresh, keep it ongoing, keep it dynamic, and have the employees the option to raise a flag or raise a hand when they need help in real time and get that help in real time. Also, learner feedback. Have like quick surveys after each model to improve content. Okay, let's say that after this lecture, I provide you guys with a few questions like to provide feedback. How do you feel? What did you learn? What are the key points you can take away from this session? And so on and so on. I can use the feedback moving on. So this kind of loop of feedback is super important, both for the employees and for their managers. And business metrics tracking. Connect the learning initiatives to the KPIs. As we mentioned previously, the whole thing, the gamification, the whole, process needs to connect to the real-time goals and KPIs and bottom line results. Okay, so you have to measure the sales per hour, the customer satisfaction, the employee retention. Are these numbers and stats, increasing accordingly? I mean, do we see a correlation between your training of your employees and their, results, their sales quota, the customer satisfaction, their retention, staying with you for a longer time, and so on and so on. Once we see the correlation, we know it's working. So the online feedback, the observation in real time, the whole very dynamic micro assessments helps monitor things in real time, breaking down to small pieces of the whole equation and finding the bottlenecks where we need help or assistance to grow. Okay? So the result, by the way, I want to end with a case study or a real business. It's a major apparel retailer. I'm not going to mention the name. That wanted to reduce onboarding time. So they had a 6-week onboarding period before employees felt confident in really working there. They had about 40% turnover within the first 90 days and inconsistent training across 500 plus stores. So the solution they implemented is one, they moved everything to mobile micro-learning platforms within 80 different models, kind of broke it down. The gamified learning paths with certification milestones. They had this kind of a store manager dashboard showing completion and comprehension of each learning model. And they had a peer mentorship program paired with the digital learning. So how the peers kind of help mentoring each other. The results, well, had a 3-week onboarding. They had the onboarding reduced from 6 weeks to 3 weeks. They had a 22% turnover that dropped from 40%. They had a 15% customer satisfaction scores, and $3.2 million in annual ROI, which reduced turnover costs as well. So the store manager held accountable for team learning with metrics tied to bonuses. That was one factor, that like each metric was tied to a bonus, kind of implementing the employees and giving them more incentive to do well in that. Okay, I see we're kind of short in time and I want to leave some time for questions. So I'm going to skip another 2 case studies and move to the final takedown of this whole lecture. So to conclude, and the action steps. or the key takeaways. You can also kind of take a photo of this slide, but you're going to get this recording anyway, so whatever works for you. So one key, takeaway is turnover is expensive. Losing employees after you onboarded them and recruited them and, spend so much money and time and focus on them is expensive. But learning is a solution. Every dollar invested in effective training returns 3 to 5x through retention alone. So investing in learning and training also shows results in, retention and ROI. Retail learning must be different. Mobile, micro, personalized, and immediately applicable. Okay? Technology enables, but strategy drives. Tools are worthless without clear learning objectives. Connect the technology to your goals, to your KPIs, to your pain points and needs. Learning culture beats learning platform. The best system fails without leadership commitment. Have your managers observe, monitor, give feedback, peer-to-peer learning, and so on and so on. And measure what matters. Understand what are your KPIs, what are your goals, and then track business outcomes. Not just completion rates of the training models, but connected to the real business outcomes and bottom lines. And to sum up everything, here's a suggested 30-60-day implementation roadmap. It's not, tailor-made for each specific business. It depends on the business and the, ecosystem you're operating and your vertical. But as a general guideline, just some pointers for like a 30, 60, 90-day program. So for the first 30 days, it's more of the assessment and planning. Okay, conduct training needs and kind of analyze, survey your employees and managers and review performance, understand what is needed. Audit current training programs, like what's working, what's not, with what you have right now. You see kind of what you want to preserve and keep and what you want to change to kind of more modern and new solutions. Calculate true turnover costs to build business case, understand what you have right now, so you can compare it later on to the results. Research and demo 3 to 5 learning platforms. Check different platforms, see what works best. Do some A/B testing. You don't have to choose one immediately. You can try different ones, see which one kind of blends better to your specific business. Identify early adopter stores or departments for a pilot and try them first. And define 5 key metrics you want to track as a manager. On the next 30 days, 31 to 60, that's the pilot launch. That's launching your new LLD, program. Select a platform and begin content creation. Convert 3 high priority training topics to micro-learning format, to small bites of learning. Train a pilot group of managers as your learning champions, which will then train the other ones. Launch, 2, 3 pilot stories with weekly check-ins. Gather feedback and iterate rapidly in real time. And document early wins and challenges. See what works for you and what doesn't work for you, and document that so you can learn moving on. And for the next 30 days, the 60 to 90 days, that's the scale and optimize stage. After you've done your assessment and planning and the pilot launch, now you're scaling up and optimizing. So you can analyze pilot data and adjust approach. You can create a rollout plan for a broader organization. You can develop additional content based on the pilot learnings. You can train all your managers on new learning approach, not a specific group, but all of them. Begin tracking business impact metrics and celebrate and communicate success through the whole organization. Okay, so immediate actions participants can take from tomorrow following this session, because it's going to be, very insightful and relevant. Calculate your true turnover cost using the formula of, departures, average replacement costs. Calculate how it is in your business. Survey 10 frontline employees, ones who are on the front line, the cashier, the store, the floor, about training challenges. What's preventing you from learning what you need to succeed right now? See what they say. Okay, gather that information. Three, identify one high impact skill that could be taught in 5 minutes in a 5 minute model instead of like a 1 or hour long sessions and create that model. Four, review your last training initiative. Did you measure completion or business impact? What did you measure? It should be business impact, right? And eventually schedule a 30-minute session with your leadership team to discuss making learning a strategic priority. Okay, all these pointers can help you guys tomorrow with your business, whatever it is. And remember, retail is very, different and complicated in many cases. But I think these guidelines or these main pointers can be relevant, each one for their specific business or ecosystem, um, to get started from day one tomorrow. That's it from my end. Uh, Pratibha, I'll be happy to go for Q&A for the few minutes we have left. I'll also open the chat if you want to take any questions. Pratibha, do you want to lead this or should I lead this?
Wherever you're comfortable, Anand, if you want me to read out the question, I can do that too.
Okay, how much long do we have? Like 5 minutes now?
We have around 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay, so I'll do it real quick. I'll just go over the questions in the chat. And in the meanwhile, if anyone else has questions you want to add, feel free and I'll try to answer them, as the time allows us. So, yeah, so we talked about gamification in training, which is a very important aspect of training and keeps it, engaging for the end user. Pawn asked, how was annual ROI calculated? I mean, each business has its different ROIs. It could be your revenue, it could be the bottom line, could be different stores, but eventually each business has its income from their, offline and online activities. And, usually the finance teams know how to calculate these ROIs in general. And you can also calculate the ROI for your employees. How much in average does it cost you to onboard a new employee? Okay, the recruitment process, the training process, in terms of resources and time and money, and how long in average does is the employee lifetime in your organization? Is it like 6 months, 8 months, 12 months, 2 years? Obviously, the goal is to have it as long as possible. So once your turnover is, longer, the employee life cycle is longer, your ROI will obviously be better because the amount of money or time or resources you invested in that employee will hold on for a longer period of time. So you should kind of measure how much it costs you in resources, time, money, and so on to recruit a new employee, and what is your average employee lifetime, and then do that equation. Hope that answers that question. What else? Can we get a copy of the presentation? I believe you will get a copy of the presentation and also the recording. Is it possible to display the last slide? Is this still relevant? Because I can do that again. Sure. Let me share my screen once again. And this is the last slide. It's a bit small. I have to kind of, it's a very long last slide. We talked about the action steps. You can take a screenshot if you want and the key takeaways. And then we talked about the 30, 60, 90-day implementation roadmap and general guidelines. And eventually, we finished with the immediate action participants, can take starting tomorrow, which is these pointers. And there's this kind of quote I didn't even get to, but saying that retail will always have turnover. It's the nature of the industry, right? People come, people leave, they never stay forever. But the question isn't whether people will leave, it's what they learn while they're with you and how that impacts your business and whether learning makes them want to stay longer. The organization winning in retail today aren't the ones with the best compensation packages. They're the ones where people feel they're growing, developing, and building skills that matter. So learning isn't just training, it's a retention strategy, your customer experience strategy, and your growth strategy. The question is, will you treat it that way? Because looking at that in this angle makes everything different. Okay, any last questions? I see we don't have any more questions. Yeah, I think we're good. So yeah, thank you all for joining. I think it was very fruitful. I wish we could have like open discussion, but we're also limited by time. So I think I'm just on time as I was guided to finish at 5:30. So thank you all for joining. Thank you for your questions. I hope this was helpful and insightful. And Pratibha, thank you for spearheading and leading this session.
Thank you so much, Alan, for this amazing and insightful session and also very thoughtful answers. I'm sure our participants have learned a lot.
Sure.
So, unfortunately, we don't have much time left, so we were not able to take many questions as we can. But if you want to know more about anything, I have shared Ellen's LinkedIn ID in the chat for your convenience. I'll also be sharing it once again at the end of today's session. Now let's move ahead. So if you guys think so you are ready for the L&D certification, and if you want to go ahead with the L&D certified, so you can grab the certification from our website. You can connect over there, and for our participant, we are giving a complimentary coupons. So you can use the coupon of L&D20. I have shared the coupon link in the chat for your convenience. I'll be sharing the once again. You can click on the link and you can go through there and you can apply this coupon and you can get your GSDC L&D certification. Now we also have the utility tool for you. So in this tool, you will get your LinkedIn profile re-improve. So what you can do, you can go onto our website and you can click onto the utility tool link. And you can also, for our participant, we also have a complimentary coupon code for using the utility tool, that is AUG100. I'll also be sharing this in the chat. So by this utility tool, you can get a lot of benefits for your LinkedIn profile. Once you will log into that by your LinkedIn ID and password, it will access your all of the information, and after that, it will give you a recommendation. For an example, if your professional bio is not something which today's HR is looking forward to, shortlisting your profile, so this tool will give you a recommendation that your profile bio should be according to like that. Your professional photo should be according to like that. Your experience should be aligned like that. So you will get all of the recommendation over here. And from this help, you can make your LinkedIn profile standing outside for the recruiters. With that, we have some others webinar schedule also, in which we have ISO 42001, ISO 27001. This webinar is scheduled from 3rd November to 21st November at 9:30 a.m. CST, 10:30 p.m. SGT, 8 p.m. IST. Do grab your spot from the registration link from our website. Apart from that, we are also conducting GSDC AI Studio solving coaching and learning challenges with Gen AI. These are scheduled at 7:30 a.m. CST, 8:30 p.m. SGT, and 6 p.m. IST. Do grab your spot for this. I'm going to host one of more session for AI Tools 100 Days Challenge after this event. You can join there as well. For there, we are conducting a seminar. We are crafted on a daily basis on different AI tool topic, which will help you to enhance your professional journey and learn from the collaboration, automation, and data-driven making. Apart from that, now it's time to celebrate our referral champions. So today we have Bhanu Durgesh, EBI, and Avinash Kumar. These are our today's 3 top champions of the referral. Congratulations to all of you. We are cheering for you and keep the momentum going. You can also be part of the referral championship. You want to know how? So you can refer your peers, colleague, or friends to join this webinar by registration link, which is available on our GSDC website. So once you hit a 50 point or 50 referral point, you will be eligible to getting a $400 gift certification voucher. So you can redeem any free certificate from our website. So if you want to be one of our speakers, if you want to share your thoughts, if you want to be a trainer, or if you want to be one our part of the community, you can go. You can send an email to me, or you can go on our website and you can apply for the learning capsules, webinar, and podcast. So these are the website where you can connect with us, LinkedIn, WhatsApp, and also you can share your session takeaways and feedback on the Trust Pilot. I'll be sharing the chat. I'll be sharing the links in the chat for a while. Just please be stay ahead. And with that, it's time to come for an end. Thank you so much for all the joining. Thank you so much once again, Alan. We are very honored to have you as our speaker. And the session was very amazing and insightful. And I'm sure all participants have learned a lot. From the link which I have told you guys, I'm sharing in the chat box. Please stay for 1 to 2 minutes. Thank you so much everyone for the joining. I have shared all the links in the chat box. I hope you have grabbed that. You can also connect on our GSDC website for more details. You can reach out to me at pratibha@gsdccouncil.org. Have a good day ahead, good night, and good evening wherever you are. We'll be looking forward to having you in another session. Thank you so much once again.